Hey everyone, welcome to this section. In this one, we're going to talk about functions with outputs, an important concept that is going to complete your knowledge on Python functions. Now, so far, we've talked about functions with inputs, the parameters, and we've talked about also the normal functions without any inputs or anything like that. But in this section, we're going to focus on functions with outputs, which is a very important concept and can be a little bit confusing in the beginning, especially if you're getting into it. So we're going to use a lot of examples and a lot of live coding examples to make sure that you understand it in detail. And by the end of this section, we're going to create a really fun program, a calculator program, to really put this into practice and make sure that you learn everything and you understand how to put it to use. So take a look at this. So this is the calculator app that we're going to be creating, and when you run it, it's going to ask you to enter the first number, and then it's going to ask you to enter the type of operation that you want to do. For example, I'm going to say we'll multiply it, and then we're going to have another number, second number, let's say 30, and it's going to give us the results. And then it says, do you want to continue calculating with 300 or you want to start a new calculation? So let's say I'm going to continue calculating it, and we're going to maybe do another operation. We're going to say plus, and I'm going to say 50, and it's going to add another 50 to the 300. Now, what's really interesting is that this does look a little bit simple when you think about it, right? Creating a calculator app is really not that complicated. It's like one of the first things that a Python programmer or any really programmer ever is going to create. But this actually is using a lot of different things that we are going to talk about. For example, the functions and outputs and a lot of other stuff that you'll see in action. And again, it's a pretty important thing because there are a lot of different ways to create a calculator app. So there is really not limited to a particular style, but this one is really special because what we do is that we pick the numbers, we pick the operation, but more importantly, we actually keep the number, keep the value, and we can continue using that value over and over in a different calculation in the same program. So in the same session. So it's a pretty interesting way of using a calculator, and also again, it's going to help us to put all the stuff that we're going to talk about in this section to practice. So let's get it started and let's talk about functions with outputs.